Time just went. I was on the phone. And completely and utterly forgotten. George said, "Are we on here?" What? Sorry, George. Oh, sorry, people. George, I'm awfully sorry.
Hi, Frank.
I was on the phone, and
Have a sit.
I don't know. I just went like completely out of my mind. Completely
Oh,
out
you
of
see,
my mind.
Frank, you're joining the club.
Oh, blimey! Just completely, utterly went out my mind. Just
I'm
talk.
glad you're okay. That's the main thing, mate.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry about that. And I was looking forward to tonight, because I was saying to JK, I said, I'm glad that there's no, he's going to be late. He said, there's no football. I'm made up. I said, well,
That's right. You're a break
George is
tonight.
coming up. Yeah. So what you think? Can I just say hello to these people who've also been sending
Yeah, of
messages?
course. Yeah.
I'm awfully sorry, George. Let's see. Chris is question for Frank and George. In your opinion, what is the aim of Liverpool FC to benefit the community, players, and supporters, or make the business profit for foreign investors? Well, we can come to that. Let's just go through these. Daryl, oh, Frankie is going to be on tonight. Just so angry, all the gear. No idea at the moment. Another sham of a window, I fear. I actually don't know why Edwards is back, but good evening to everyone. Anyway, do you know what he says? Like and subscribe, everyone.
Nice.
And Youssef, England could potentially face Italy. That'll be good.
Ooh,
That'll be great, though.
that's a nice one for us.
Yeah. Even if Frank, hope you're okay and you had a good day, says Paul Turner. Thank you, Paul. Thank you. Hey, Georgie boy, Daryl
Hey,
says,
Daryl.
good evening, George. Hope you're okay, says
Yeah,
Paul
I'm good.
Turner.
Well, thank you. I'm good.
And the amphitheater, Trent Trent to send Italy home, says Yusa.
Ooh.
Good evening, you two legends. Now drink these. I've been on holiday. Sorry, I haven't been around to drink these, says the Anfield Raw.
Oh, welcome back.
And there he is, there.
Oh, he's my
Brought him
man.
home.
He's my man. I got all them nice drinks. Thank you.
I think he's brought them home for us off his holidays. And Scottish Bear, good evening, Frank and George.
Yeah, good old Scottish Bear. Unlucky about the old team, though, this year. Unlucky.
We'll talk about that. Big up, Frank, mate. Hope you're well today. Thank you, Jazz. What do you think, though? What do you think so far of, the likes of stupid head? What do you think so far of the Euros and who's been impressing you most,
I have to
George?
be honest, Frank. I think the best night for me of the Euros, and you'll like this, was when Italy scored that winning that goal, because it was fantastic. I mean, the Italian passion. I know it well. You do,
Yeah,
obviously. And they were out more or less. They were struggling. They weren't out, but they were struggling. And to score in the 98th minute with a goal like that, you must have been through the roof.
oh, absolutely amazing. It was just delighted. Francine came down today to see me, and she was going on about it. But she said what the teams that have impressed her is Spain and
Yeah, Spain, very
Germany,
good, very good. Yeah, yeah,
and she fancies Germany to win it because she said they always come strong, Dad.
yeah, yeah. They're
Always
always
come.
England's nemesis, Germany.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as England are concerned, they're getting a hell of a lot of stick at the moment. Probably quite deserved in many ways because their football's been a bit pedestrian and a bit boring by the standards of the players they've got. And they've got some top quality Premier League players that should be doing better. They seem to
yeah,
be in a little bit of a the structure doesn't seem quite right to me somehow. but I wouldn't write them off. You know, they got this game coming up on Sunday, and they should beat that team, and then they'll be in what is it, the quarterfinal.
Quarterfinals, yeah.
You know, and then anything can happen to get through, and then you know they might see a different England with a few different changes. And no, I wouldn't write them off. They've had a lot of stick, and a lot of people may have to eat their words. But we'll see what happens. They've got to improve than what they're doing now because they've been boring, as far as I'm concerned. I was much more impressed by the Scottish fans than I was by England's team.
Well, put it this way. You've been getting stick, yeah, but the lads who's been getting more stick than anyone is Trent.
Being a disgrace, really, the way they've hung him out to dry. Southgate's treated him terrible. You can't put a player with that brilliance in as an experiment. You know, you play him to his strength, and there's nobody running into the spaces for Trent's talent to find them, like a quarterback. They're all Kane is coming towards him. The only one running in any shape forward is Foden. The rest of them are just static. So it's not fair on Trent. I think he's had a very, very rough deal, Frank.
Yeah, of course he has. Of course he has. But then again, I don't support England. I just
I don't either, to be honest.
people ask why, you know, and I'm fed up telling them why. But I just don't support them. It's
easy for me because I'm Scottish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course.
I don't dislike them, and I don't want them to do badly, but I don't support them.
No. Well, I like the Republic of Ireland, and people say, "Well, why do you like them?" It's surprising if you don't support England, they go at you, they question you.
I also think England fans are very particular. The England fans. I mean, every country, you see some of the joy when some of these teams qualify. But England's qualified top of the group, and all they're getting is stick. I know why, I understand why, but there's no joy there at all. You know, the only joy is when they're winning. They don't support them when they're losing.
No, absolutely. And the Anfield Roar, bit of duty free for you two likely lads. Thanks, Dan. And the Scottish there. Georgia and Austria and Italy, impressive, says the Scottish. Austria is.
Yeah, very good. Very good. They could surprise a few people. They played great.
Yeah. And you're always seeing, Sonia, and all, you know, the World Cup, Euro Cup, and you know the Euros. You always seem to find, you know, an unlikely side.
Yeah.
To take centre stage, and they have so far. You know, they've been, you know, outsiders, and they've been playing very well. England, says the Anfield Roar, have been disappointing to say the least, and Southgate hanging Trent out to dry has angered me. I think Austria have been the outstanding side.
Yeah. They've been very, very good.
Well, he goes along with the Scottish Bear because he's that as well. And Spain are the only side to win all 3 games, and that's what we're forgetting as well. That's what we're getting.
They're always good.
You know, you just look at Spain, you look at Germany, you look at Italy. You know, they're the 3 teams that are very strong.
France as well. France, you can't count France out.
Forgot about France, yeah. And they haven't been playing too good as well.
No.
They haven't been playing too good. Yeah, so there you go.
The manager left Griezmann out, didn't he? He left Griezmann out. That was a bit of a controversial decision.
Yeah, he did. But I don't like that. Deschamps, never liked it, and even as a player, he was a snidey little player.
He was, yeah.
Trent is made to be a scapegoat, says the Scottish Bear. Now, he's like you, George, he's looking in, and he's like me, he's looking in from the outside. You know, we're looking in from the outside, and he's got it spot on.
I mean, Southgate was saying he's missing Henderson and Maguire. Well, come on, they're yesterday's men as far as international football are concerned. I think he should be playing Anthony Gordon and the guy from West Ham, um, or the striker from West Ham, got a better pace and he runs through the middle. He's got to
Yeah,
change it up. It's too static. I mean, Kane's not really doing much.
yeah.
Um, very few of them are doing anything. Even Rice, they're just
Are you talking
pedestrian.
about Bowen, that Bowen fella? As I said, I haven't been watching England. I haven't been watching. I can't stand those England fans.
No, they're
Waving the
horrible.
flags. These are the same fans who have a go at us. That's why I don't watch it. Waving the flag all too and all. Don't want to know that.
Singing German bomber songs and all that nonsense.
Ah, there we go. Uh, as the Anfield Roar says, some have said worst teams in the tournament have been Scotland and England.
Yeah, well, there's an excuse for Scotland. They haven't got such a big pool of players to choose from, and they've got no pretensions in being one of the top teams in the world, which England have. They're the favourites, so there's a lot more expected of England, than there is of Scotland. Scotland did well to qualify, to be fair, and they gave us a lot of entertainment in the last two games, and they could have got through. Really, a little bit unlucky at the end when they lost that last-minute goal, and they could have had a penalty. That was a cast-iron penalty, I have to say. It's just as bad as the one at Anfield when Doku kicked McAllister. It was a
Yeah,
definite penalty, and something was going on there. Argentinian referee never went to VAR. That could have been. I could have gave Scotland a little bit of a lift and got them at least into the quarter-final.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And this is, we've always had problems with VAR, but when I thought that with these Euros, I think they'd have to be spot on. The
Yeah,
referee, the linesman, the people in the VAR studio. I think these to myself, these will have to be spot on because the world is watching them.
I didn't
And
understand why that decision wasn't referred to VAR or why VAR didn't intervene. Because the referee could have went and looked at it, and okay, he could have made the decision, but they didn't even go that way.
well, they always do as well, VAR, don't they?
Yeah,
Come over to the screen, like who's in Liverpool score against? I forget who they were. And they
yes,
come over to this plan, and so he's going down. The Anfield Roar, I'm glad Julian Assange has been relieved of some of the stresses. I made up myself and I asked Jay, I said, will you take the thing down now because he's free? He
yeah,
is not really free, to be honest. I don't
yeah,
trust the
yeah,
Americans.
yeah.
You
Very
know,
good. Good luck to him.
well, point says, George, I follow all this. I've been following this every single day
Yeah, I
for
know.
10 years. 10 years. He was never charged with anything. And he had to get his freedom, he had to plead guilty.
That's
Think
right.
about that. He
He
had to
ended up in
plead guilty
Ecuador.
to a charge he's never been to a crime he's never been charged with. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
would have been terrible if the Americans got away with that.
Well, that's for another pod, I'm
Yeah.
afraid. I'll be talking about that on a pod in a couple of weeks. Well, about 3 weeks' time. Um, Paul Turner says Trent's replacement, Conor Gallagher, didn't do any better. He got pulled off as well.
Well,
Southgate.
he's not in the same class as Trent. His record bears no comparison to Trent's record in the Premier League for goals and assists and free kicks. And what's he ever done, Gallagher? I can't remember him ever doing anything of any note.
Well, Youssef, he says British football have a reputation for playing a horrible style of play, which is lump. Lump of forwards, and hope the striker gets on the end of it. That's why there's not much glory. That's a good point, though. That's a
Yeah.
good point. Just lump it. And how many times, George, you've been watching Liverpool, over the years, and we've either been getting beat or, wanting a win in, the last couple of minutes. And that's what we say. Get it
Yeah.
forward. Just hit it
Get into the
forward.
box.
And hope for the best. So he's right there. Big Mac, big off Frank. I've asked JK for the link. JK, he said he'd be late. That's why I'm late, because I was so good. He said, I'm going to be late, Frank. I said, just come on. So, if you're still around.
Yeah.
Okay, man, we'll have you on. We'll have you on. Shaqiri scores a Walesy against Scotland, says Paul Turner.
He did. Typical Shaqiri goal, that.
Collins Ice Southgate couldn't lead a swarm of ants to a pit. He hasn't got a clue. Let's see who he ends up with the Manx. I'd rather have the Manx still have their 10 eggs, to be honest.
Yeah.
You said, please, look at the way the Spanish and the Italians of the past play, control the ball.
Yeah, they've
And
always been good.
he carries on by saying France, Portugal, and Belgium have been woeful. And Frank and that Calafiori at the back for Italy, left footed and made that beautiful run to get Italia their equaliser.
Yeah.
See, what has happened, Juve went in for him, but they can't match the asking price. And this is where Liverpool should come in. This is where Liverpool, unless it's not spin that they've been giving us, because the club really gives us spin all the time,
Yeah.
over certain players. You've only got to look at Shumani, you've only got to look at Bellingham and the rest of them. Even Casino, you've only got to look at those lads.
Yeah, they were never going to pay 140 million for him.
Exactly, so it's been, but because of their eye wipe now, especially with Juve, because they thought, Juve's going in for him, so he didn't want to leave Italy. He wanted to go to Juve. So now it's in the it's in their court now. The ball's in the court of Liverpool. They've only got to put the bid in and go, yeah, you can have them. And it's as simple as that.
Judgment Day is coming up now, Frank, next month. They're going to put the money where the mouth is and start looking to sign players, sort out the strategy, the tactics, the new manager, the press conferences. It's all going to kick off.
Yeah.
Quiet at the moment, this Euros.
Well, yeah, Jared Bowen says Youssef. That's who,
That's him. That's the man, yeah. Youssef, thank you.
He doesn't drop his favourite, says Collins. So that must be Southgate. TW, even of Frank and George. And there's a big one from Paul. Paul. Lovely fella, this. Good evening, Frank and George. What's doing my head? Love that scene. It's a Liverpool doing me head.
Lots of things.
You're off, you're doing me head. So lovely. Even if Frank and George, what's doing my head in these so-called experts talking rubbish, trying to reinvent the game. He's a 10 inside forward, a 9 centre forward. He's a left 6, a 6 left half.
Oh, yeah. Talking my language there.
Football ain't changed from me watching in the 60s till now. Tournament football different. It's not. It's not. You go out and try and win the game in any footy match. Runs over. Who's having that up there?
Left half.
Paul's good, he's a good red. He's a passionate red. He's like us,
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
And England players won't be voting next week as they couldn't find a box, let alone a cross.
Yeah, I've seen that one. Some good stuff going around online.
Oh, yeah. George, on Scotland, yeah, for you, George, would you like to see Clark gone? Did you think, like I did, I'm half Scottish myself, and that Clark has done wonders, but I would like someone else to take the lead.
I think he's done well to get Scotland to qualify, to be fair to him, but he wouldn't inspire me, I have to say that. He's too dour. I know Scottish people have got a reputation sometimes for being a bit dour, a bit aggressive, but Shankly's my type of man. He would not inspire me, Clark, because he same expression on his face when he's interviewed. He never shows any empathy to the reporter. one-word answers, and I would have no problem if they got rid of him.
And the Scottish Bear, Liverpool linked with Italian Riccardo Calafiori. Looks a hell of a player in the Euros.
Well, I'm sick of this linked with this, linked with that, linked with the next one. Let's get them in. That means nothing.
Yeah.
Linked with the man.
Yeah. TW says, Frank, did Jimmy Case ever get an England cap? Didn't he play once? Or
I think he might have got one. I'm not sure, but you wouldn't
Yeah.
get many.
Yeah, no.
It's like Tommy Smith only got one, didn't he? Tommy only got one.
Enough said there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Enough said. And the excuse was, Bobby, no, I could have played in any position, Tommy. Could have played right back, left back, centre half, right half.
The side left.
Any position. And that was the excuses. Jude Bellingham says Anfield Road is no number 10. The Argentines in the week on a podcast said Foden is a 10. Bellingham is a box-to-box player. It's only because Carlo plays him a false 9. He has got lazy. That's Bellingham got lazy, through Carlo Ancelotti, actually.
Yeah. He needs to step up now.
And Brian, good evening, lads. It's been a poor Euros, not much quality, but I've been really impressed with the work loads of some of the lesser nations, something our team thrives on. Could we pick up someone? Yeah. Well, if Daryl Merry's with us, he must have thought that we weren't coming on. He's going mad, keep getting messages off him. When are we gonna? You can't do nothing if he's looking in. You can't do anything until the Euros are over. And then I keep saying, don't be looking at rumours or anything. But what we can say is that the likes of Calafiori, he's great for us. We can say that rather than, we're going to go and get him and whatever, because, it's who we like. And he has impressed me. He's definitely impressed me. Well, I watch Italy, as you know.
Yeah.
And it has impressed me. Yes. So, who's a player that stuck out with you there, George? Out of the Euros.
As a player, who's the lad played for? Funny enough, Georgia. Napoli. He's a fantastic player, isn't he? He's like the Georgian Messi. Socks around his ankle. Scored a great goal, and he looks a good player. He come from under the radar. I hadn't heard of him before. Not quite sure of his name.
Don't even go down there with his name.
Was it one of them long names? There's nobody stood out like in previous years. When we've seen likes of the way Gascoigne played in 1990. I think it was 1990, yeah. And there's always like Scalacci in the World Cup. There's nobody struck me. Nobody scored in loads of goals, becoming a superstar. Even Mbappe hasn't done that much apart from score a penalty.
No.
So it's not been very impressive in terms of players standing out so far, I don't think, to be honest. I can't name too many.
Yeah. That's what I mean, because when I asked you, you struggled.
Yeah.
Normally, World Cups and other tournaments, you just pick a name right away, don't you? You just pick
when you
a
see
name.
the sort of things Messi does on the world stage.
Oh.
I mean, even Ronaldo is a bit too old now, but he's still getting the chances. He's still there. Now 39, it's amazing.
Well, the Anfield Road, I'll tell you who's impressed me. Who? And I can never pronounce this fella's name. Donna. It's terrible, the Italian goalkeeper.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He's good. Yeah,
He's
absolutely.
brilliant. He's brilliant.
I mean, Modric is a great player. I'm sorry to see him finish. He's been an amazing player over the years, Modric, for
Yeah.
Czech Republic. And he scored that. He missed the penalty, then scored what he thought was the winner. And then they got away at the last minute.
Well, what you think of, you're right there, you know, and he's getting on, you know. I think he's about 37, 38
Even
or
more,
so.
maybe more.
We've signed that lad from Wolves, says the Anfield Roar. Alvin Ayman, 1.5 million. Watch this lad, fellas. He is a real talent, signed from Wolves.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, the Anfield Roar. He can even spell it. I can't pronounce it.
That's the one, yeah.
But I've always, you know, even the Anfield Roar, I tell you, I've always liked him.
Carrot
I've
Sheila.
always liked him. Haven't you seen him? You must have
Yeah,
seen him. Plays
Sheila.
for Napoli. Plays for Napoli. Brilliant he is. Well, I follow Serie A.
Yeah,
And
you can tell, yeah.
He's absolutely brilliant. And I said about 3 seasons ago, Liverpool should go in for this lad. He's brilliant.
What's his position, Frank?
He's on the right wing.
Right wing, all right.
He's brilliant, you know. I'm going to bring K-Mac in here. Hang on a minute. Before, don't say anything yet, K-Mac. Good evening, anyway. Can you hear us?
K-Mac.
Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, you know, I was just going to.
You say don't say anything. I'm like, okay.
Oh, what I mean.
I'll just stay quiet.
I'm just looking at you, Seth. Would you take this Nuri fella from Wolves? I'll go see you, K-Mac.
I don't think he fit in a slot system. If we're going to play him as a left back, if we played him as a left winger, yeah. But in a slot system, you need your left back to be able to play centre back, which is why Calafiore seems like a really obvious choice.
I think he's brilliant, and
I
you
think
know
he's
that
sensational,
I follow the Azari. That's why I've got the thumbnail behind me. But would you
Really
take this fella as well?
Yeah, all day long. Yeah. Apparently, Napoli's owner and an entourage had gone to Germany with a massive contract to get him to re-sign.
Really?
Like literally today. After that game, I think they all jumped on a plane and went, "Yeah, I think we need to give him a big pay rise to keep him."
Yeah.
Some player.
Because his dad came out and said, "Your club's being run by idiots. Like you've had 3 different managers in the last 2 years. My son doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He's still on 20 grand a week. Like when you've got the likes of Oshiman, who's on like over 100, and he's the guy that's basically giving Oshiman all the bullets." You know what I mean?
I just think he's a fantastic player, and he'd just be brilliant for Liverpool, like that Calafiore.
Did you see him after the Georgia game? He didn't even have a sweat on.
Yeah.
No.
Like his hair wasn't even wet. I'm like, blimey, how fit are you?
I put out the rubbish yesterday, and you know me there, rubbish bin in the heat. I was sweating like a pig. I'm just saying, he never sweated a bit. And it's been hot in Germany, as you know. Well, yeah, look at that. I'll go over to George with the well, up here he is, but George. Look at Georgia and Austria attacking, going for it. Clark is out of his depth with Scotland. Far too negative. Up front, Lawrence Shackland is the best player in the SPL and can't get a sniff. Shocking, George.
Yeah, well, as I said earlier on, Scotland, I mean, did well to qualify. They're never going to do anything in the Euros, really. It's about 20 years, I think, maybe longer, since they've managed to get through into the quarterfinals. That would have been a huge achievement for them if they could have done that. So you're talking about a different kettle of fish with Scotland and a lot of the other countries, different expectations. But like I said earlier, Clark doesn't really, I don't know, he's a good manager. He's got them to the Euros, but he doesn't inspire me. His communication seems to me very sort of bland and one-paced. So I don't know how the players react to him. They seem quite loyal. But Scotland's never going to really cut up trees, just like Wales and Ireland. I think they're all the highest part is to get in there. And if they get through to the quarterfinals, it's a huge achievement. I mean, some of these other countries are doing great. I mean, they're doing well ahead of expectations. And you see the celebrations at the end, it's fantastic. The the answer on the nest. I mean, it's fantastic.
It is. Well, they're the lesser team. I don't like saying lesser than anything, to be honest, but they are nevertheless the lesser team.
Of course they are.
And you can see the passion.
I think Slovakia is about 54 places below England in the rankings. Yeah. So England should beat them. I mean, if they don't beat them, then it's pathetic.
I know. Well,
the thing about it is, and I know people aren't going to like it, but if you get to a knockout tournament, you're not a lesser team. You're on there through merit. Like a lot of these teams, it's through merit. Like, unfortunately, I just think Scotland got decimated by injuries. I just do.
Well, the first game killed us. The first game killed us.
They lost so many players before the tournament even started. Like half their best players couldn't go because they were injured.
That's true.
Like even Ben Doak, like they had a chance of maybe taking him as some pace because no one who's got any pace in that team, and then he got injured. I think in the warm-ups. Yeah. So I feel a bit sorry for Scotland. But the weird thing about it is that game that they really needed to win. He brought the top goal scorer in the championship, Scottish Championship, and a really good Premier League player in Christie off the bench. And I'm sat there going, why didn't they start? Like, they're probably your best players. Why are you bringing them on now? That was a bit odd. I thought that was a bit odd.
And we needed to score. Scotland needed to score, so they left it far too late to get their act together. Bit too square and too static, and had a go at it. And they nearly, as I said to Frank earlier before you came on, I mean, I just thought that was a cast iron penalty. I know I'm biased, but I thought it was a cast iron penalty. They were very unlucky there.
The one where the Southampton guy went through and he pulled
hit him in the back of the knee.
Yeah.
Well, I thought that was a very good question, actually.
It was.
Yeah.
And
it's quite difficult for us to slag him off, though, because he was part of the Liverpool group. Not easy to go in on him like Steve Clark, because he was all right at Liverpool when he. The manager wasn't great. Who was next to him?
The first shirt looks.
He was a good player. He was a good player.
The first shirt looks horrendous with that oversized crest. It's great what we notice, isn't it? From bad players to great players who we want to Paul Serner saying about the shirt with the oversized crest.
We haven't seen England playing in red yet, have we? They used to play. Remember in the World Cup final, they were in red.
Yeah,
that might help.
I'm not a fan of turquoise. all the England players are walking around in these turquoise tops. It's all a bit.
Yeah.
TW, the Euros of being absolute crap. International football is dead.
What? No, there's been some good games. There's been some good games.
I was talking to Frank about the Italian winner at the end,
I thought that game was brilliant.
Yeah, it was.
I've watched some really good games, but England are just honestly.
I mean, look at that one when Modric scored. He missed a penalty and he scored about 2 minutes later, and then they went down.
I know, brilliant games. Yeah.
Well, who's impressed you, JK? Okay, Mark, who's impressed you?
I mean, Albania have been pretty decent. just a random one.
Yeah, Austria were good.
Georgia, Austria, been good. Turkey have been decent. I mean,
what about Serbia?
Serbia, they flatter to deceive you, don't they? Like, they've got loads of good players and then don't really put it together on the pitch. France have been terrible. Holland's been okay because of Cody Gakpo. That's probably it.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Portugal not too bad when they got the full team out.
Yeah. Why is he so good, Cody? That goal he scored the other night. That was brilliant.
That's a Cody goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even the other one, which was like kind of a deflection tapping, like a shot deflected. Cody did loads of them with us in the last couple of seasons.
Yeah, but that goal he scored the other night reminded me, and it was very much like, was when Robbo, put the ball down to him on the left and he just cut in the area, Man United, and just guided it in. That was a crack. And that
was a great goal, that wasn't it? Yeah, first goal. Yeah.
That reminded me of it, to be honest.
Look forward to that next season because he's going to play on the left, but he's not playing in a 4-3-3. So he's going to be more suited and he's not going to have to cross with his left foot and he'll be able to cut in more. And we'll have a 10, won't we, floating. So be able to take away the man so he can then push in more. Cody's going to be our left-sided player next season. Do
you think Diaz is going to go, K-Mac?
I don't know, like the stuff that I've heard about Barcelona is the Barcelona owners want Nico Williams, but they can't afford his wages. And Deco wants Diaz because he just loves Diaz. And they can afford his wages. So I just think Liverpool will probably just make a deal somehow, like whether they even structure the payments. Like Coutinho and Suarez. Like it took ages for us to get full amount.
Yeah, because his father's pushing it, isn't he?
Yeah. I just feel like there's a deal to be made there. And like he seems to be the only player that's always in the press about something leaving, and it's been like that for ages. Like that's just not gonna.
They need to sort it out.
It wouldn't get leaked unless there was something happening. I feel,
Well, what about
Brian? Need to get sorted before the season.
Yeah, I think so.
What about Brian here? Szoboszlai has impressed me. I don't know whether that hasn't impressed me either, lads. Big season for him.
I think his book hasn't.
After the statement.
He's been their best player.
Yeah.
Hungary.
Yeah.
I can say something on Dom because I feel like Dom's had a lot of negative press.
Of course he has.
All I wanted to say on Dom was, look, you're a 22-year-old guy, who's been absolutely balling your whole life at all your clubs you're at, scoring goals, loads of assists. You're kind of the star guy, but you're also a guy that doesn't want to be involved in the limelight. You're not that guy. You're not the guy who's always out partying. You're not that guy who's the face of the team. You kind of keep yourself low key. You have done your whole life because that's the way you've been brought up by your dad. You come to Liverpool, you take the number 8 shirt, you get dropped into a team where you're basically doing the captain's old job, in Hendo, and the Liverpool fans expect. Like, you're wearing the number 8 shirt, you hit the ground like a house on fire, like banged in God knows how many screamers, looked unbelievable, got an injury, burnt out, team kind of went a bit flat because we had loads of injuries and you were one of them. You fell off at the end of the season. It's fair to say. And for Hungary, he looked injured, by the way. Like, he looked like he was labouring through games. I just think he needs a holiday. Just think the fans need to get off his back a bit and maybe just let him have a reset because he comes in next season. He's not going to be doing that job. He's not going to be running 15 miles every game, covering for Trent. He's not going to be doing that next season. He's going to be playing on the left, on the right, or in the number 10. because Slot's going to see that. It's obvious. Like that's where he played for Hungary, and he comes into the Hungary team as the youngest ever European Championship captain, and I think he did okay. I just thought they had a load of guys that couldn't score. Like, how many crosses did he put in for them to just tap in, and they just missed and missed and missed? And I'm just sat there going, bloody hell, Dom.
Well,
I really feel sorry for you, mate.
I'm really glad you said that, because he has been getting unfair criticism, supposedly. And he was going through a personal crisis himself as well, which was kept quiet. And, that did affect him. But, as you said, and spot on, he's been playing out of position. How many times was players played out of position? There's McAllister was played out of position at the beginning. He was played out of position. And this is what we don't need next season. Players playing out of position. That's all that I ask.
I mean, we're literally sat here seeing how bad England are. England are really bad because all the players are playing out of position. You literally got a team with three right backs in it.
They don't know where they're playing. They don't really know where they're rolling.
You're literally playing like an international team in a tournament with three right backs, and you come out and say, "Oh, well, I'm experimenting." You never said you were experimenting with the right backs. Backs and plays them all at the same time.
There's one of I don't know. I don't know. There is some.
I really don't care.
I think Szoboszlai is a fantastic player. I think he's really going to come good this next season. Yeah. He'll be a lot fresher, a lot sort of more settled, and I think he's going to do a good job for us this year.
And I'm just glad he's the Euros now. He's on holiday.
I'll go straight to you. I'll go straight to you, George. And it's the outfield draw. England are being foolish if they think Slovakia will be pushovers. That left back we've been linked with, Hanko, are a talented side.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that. Slovakia won't be any pushover. I know they're lower than England in the rankings. That doesn't mean a lot when it's a competitive game and everything's at stake. I mean, you've got one chance now. It's interesting now. You're not into this league tables. You lose, you're out. With penalties, and a lot of these teams might have, if they can get through 90 minutes and they get through the extra time and get to penalties, anything can happen. So, it's not a done deal for England at all, I don't think, Well, they can't do a lot worse than they're doing, hopefully. So, I mean, fingers crossed they should actually perhaps maybe show a little bit of spirit and go forward more. I'm just disappointed that Trent was treated so badly. He could have been a big asset if they played a different system. They had players running through the middle looking for the passes, but they've not. They've been coming towards him. And Gallagher's been no better either. Manu came on and he got a bit of a reasonable write-up for a 20-minute cameo, but I'm not even sure whether he's the answer. So they've got a lot of work to do, England, against this team. It's going to be interesting on Sunday.
Yeah, but they're not a tough team, are they? Let's be honest. They're not Germany, if you know what I mean. They're not Spain. They're not France.
No, England should beat them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What about you, K-Mac? What about England?
So my whole England spin is a little bit different from most people because everybody's like complaining about it, but I'm fine. We're where we are. Like Gareth Southgate's overachieving as far as he's concerned.
Yes.
Like Gareth Southgate was garbage as a player. He was garbage in the England team. Like all heartbreak all the time. Like all we associate him with was missing penalties and like not winning games, the important ones. So he's come into the England team and he is a defender. Like everything he does is defensive. We score a goal, we defend. And everyone sits there and goes, "Oh, that's not by design." Yeah, that's by design. That's what we're there to do. We're there to win a tournament. And let's be honest, we're on track. Like, if you look at the stats, and I'm a stats man, we are number one in chances conceded. Number one. Like, that's how defensively minded we are. That nobody else has had chances less than us. Like,
Oh.
and that's the way it'll probably stay. Like, Slovakia will probably have maybe one shot. Like, Pickford's good enough. Like, it is what it is. Like, he's never going to get a tune out of forwards because he's not a forward manager. He's never done it. He's a defender.
That's why he sticks to Maguire.
We're talking about England, Brian. I'll have to welcome Brian on. Hey, Brian.
Hey, how you doing? Hey.
Nice to see you, Brian.
Likewise.
I'm finished.
Just laughing at that, yeah.
What do you think? I asked George and I asked K-Mac there, who's impressed you at the Euros this year?
Good question.
They all seem to struggle. Doesn't come on.
I said Albania.
Yeah,
good one, Albania. I can't say Georgia. That was the last match. I'll throw in Georgia, Albania, and Georgia. Yeah. But what's up with someone get your boy Southgate? What?
I tell you what, a lot of Liverpool fans on the pod have been saying Austria have been impressive.
Okay, good one. Yes.
They're good.
Yeah.
In fact,
I'd be worried about them. We could end up with them, by the way.
Sorry?
We could end up with them if we beat Slovakia, Austria.
Yeah, that won't be easy.
They're on our side, like on our route.
Okay, I'll ask the question. Will they get by Slovakia, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, they should do, Brian. I mean, by everything you think of, but you never know. The knockout competition.
Yeah.
Well, I support these, Brian. Look, I support.
I see. Yeah.
Not interested in England. I'm not bothered about if they were home now. It wouldn't bother me. To be honest, never support.
We've got an England fan, a Scottish fan, and an Italian fan. What about you, Brian? What about you?
La France. Allez les Bleus. France.
France, yeah. He's always supported France.
Good man.
He's always supported France. I think there's only came after you.
Glory Hunter.
Glory Hunter.
He's representing the England.
Okay, I'm a front runner, bandwagon, Glory Hunter. Yeah, that's it. No. I go back. I go back to what Platini, Tigana, Giras, and them. Not too far. And don't say, since '84. No, before that. So. But
no, I'm going to go to two questions here, two comments.
Sorry, yeah.
It's very important, lads. These are very important. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to this one first. And it's from Mark Simons. Now, I'll read this out, and I'm going to say something as well. Okay. Can't believe Mo is going to the Olympics at the beginning of the season. Can't he retire now? That's from the internationals, obviously. And the other point, my point is, these Euros, Liverpool haven't had any Liverpool players, no matter, whether, they're all internationals, most of them, and they're all away with their teams and they're playing. Right, they're playing. Yeah, when they get back, the season's only a few weeks after. Mm-hmm. And we're going to America for friendlies. Right, so I'm going to go to you, George. Do you think it's too much?
But you see, again, we discussed this before, Frank, and it's all about money. That's the reason they're going to America, and to allow the people over there to see their idols in the flesh. But as far as the players are concerned, you're right. They've just had a European tournament. They might go on quite far into the tournament. They come back. They're off to America. They come back, and now they're saying Mo's going to the Olympics. I mean, come on. At the end of the day, what's the Olympics as far as football's concerned? To me, the Olympics, I know it's a part of the Olympics, but it's athletics, it's swimming, it's diving. Football is not the most big sport in the Olympics for Mo to go over there. I know his country would want him to go. But what about us? The African nations every second year, whatever it is. Now he's off to the Olympics. If he gets injured there, I don't like it,
Just like
Frank.
the last time, yeah.
They've always gone on foreign tours. Most of the clubs are
Yeah.
going. Newcastle's off to Australia, somebody else. It's all for money and, spread the word and all that. We're not going to be able to change it, unfortunately, I don't think.
No. What about UK, Matt?
How long have you got?
That's why I tried to be brief.
Jesus. I mean, he's going as a flag bearer, isn't he? Isn't he one of us, some kind of like flag carrier? Think about Mo as well. I'm surprised Mo doesn't want to retire himself. Did you see how he was treated when he got his injury? They thought he was faking it.
Yeah.
They tried to drag him back to the AFCON and he was injured. And he didn't believe him. And also, it's not just Mo, by the way. Endo's also going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're losing Mo and Endo, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Endo's going as well.
Yeah.
And we almost lost Stefan Bajcetic, by the way, but he didn't get called up to the Spain squad. But he was also potentially going. The thing about the tour, I think it's 4 games. We've only got 4 pre-season games planned. So I think we could be undercooked, as in we haven't done enough with 4 games. And I also think that some of the players that are out in the Copa America and also the Euros are going to miss the first game of the pre-season, maybe even the second game. So we're going to have players that are staggered all over the place. But what I like the most as well is I liked. Have you heard the Slot interview when he talks about the tour to America and he just goes, "I don't care. I just want them back. I want them on the training pitch. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. Like, so what?" I do like that.
Oh, go ahead.
We should say no. We should say no.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, but as you were doing now, as soon as
I mean the Olympics as well. No, not the tour. You can't do nothing about that. Just take
I'll
the
get
kids.
more 500,000 a week or something. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, just take the kids.
And he'll
what
still
about
get
you, Brian? What about you?
I mean, bias the tour. Yeah, sure, it'd be great for them to come over to this side of the water and go see them. Just to play devil's advocate, it could work out because when they're coming, it's going to be hot, humid, and if they play their cards right, they will sort of fast track the conditioning and acceleration. They'll be ready to play to start the season. And you can have like that 90, 100 degree temperatures with then 90% humidity. Yeah, you train in that. Yeah, you'll be ready. You'll be ready to go. So I mean, well, those who survive, those don't wilt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it'll fast track. But yeah, it's a money grab, and we all heard what Warner said earlier this month. He wants to play Premiership games in the U.S. Like, let's not do that. No.
That's just a nonsense.
It's just sort of vocal flatulence. What are you going to call it? So, but no. As far as Mo goes, again, in his defense, he should retire. But in a way, I don't blame him. You've won everything you can ever win at Liverpool already. You got a chance to bear your flag for your country in the Olympics and spend a few weeks in Paris on someone else's dime. Sure. I'm not mad at him, but yeah, hey, then he comes back to a 500,000 a week job. Okay.
But see, the way we look at Mo, and everything, he's king of Egypt.
Yeah.
He's the king of it. That's why they give him the flag.
Yeah.
Is to show it off, around the track. But I'm not being funny. I'm just going to be a little controversial, but I don't want you to comment on it. Okay.
Okay.
This Olympics, to me, is a phony Olympics. It's a phony Olympics. The Olympics are world Olympics. And there's a few countries who have been left out of it. And that, to me, should never happen. They should have cancelled them, to be honest. That's just right. I don't want you to comment on it. Honestly, I don't. But that's just my opinion.
It's probably a good idea because I might get you banned.
Exactly.
Because the Olympics, something else has happened at the Olympics.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Sand.
Talk about conspiracies all day long.
Oh,
I
okay.
know. No. But anyway, getting back to our lads who we had a very long season. We had an arduous season, and the pre-season, the Euros, then don't forget the Americans as well, South America, that copper thing, Darwin's playing over there, McAllister's playing. You've got them playing in South America too. They've got to fly back. And then,
Frank, in my day, you had a close season. The players were allowed to rest, and then they had a very extensive pre-season, properly planned to get ready for the start of the new season. That's all gone now. It's a 24/7, 365-day-a-year career now. They get no break at all, okay, they earn the money now, which we didn't, but it was always much more sensible than anything. We used to have practice matches, first team against reserves on Anfield. And then we go and play some matches against teams, Preston North End or Tranmere Rovers
African Stanley.
Or Sheffield Wednesday. And then you'd all come back, and the guys like Tommy Smith used to have plastic jackets on because they put so much bloody weight on in the off-season. And Shanks and them would get them to wear these things and run like crazy to get the weight off. What a change today. I saw a picture the other day of the Liverpool and the England players sitting in a room with these bags on the legs. Like, they've got these things on the legs which cultivates the muscles and regenerates the pores and all sorts. It's a different world now, mate.
I could do with a body one of them.
Yeah, you could.
Chia seeds, infused seaweed, and all that. Yeah, all that stuff. Holistic.
Well, then, it's better today, though.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if the club's okay with it, then I don't want to hear about how injuries are a problem late in the season. This is and obviously, the next thing is we need to look at depth because we can't go with a team of 13, 14 key players, and all of a sudden, an injury happened, and then they collapse. Again, George, you probably know a lot more than me about that, but I'm just saying, if the club's okay with it, then no excuses about injuries later on. Your physicians, your training regimen, everything is up to snuff, and you're accepting this part of the game.
Yes, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, I agree.
Well, CW, he mentioned about being poor, right? And K-Mac said, he's seen some good games. And CW, he's not getting back, he's just saying what he thinks. K-Mac, in my opinion, on international football is based on watching the great Italian, West German, Dutch, Brazilian, French, and the list goes on and on and on. This European Championship is poor. That's what he's saying, really, And I only said it the other day to someone, you go back and you're looking at the world. I always remember the 70 Pele and Banks, the header from Pele, going back then, some of the greatest of all players. And then you go out to other World Cups, right up, and all of a sudden, this has, in my opinion, been poor. And it's been poor for a few years. And, look at Italy. Italy's not even in the World Cup. They got knocked out. They're in the Euros, but they got knocked out of the World Cup. I can't believe that. First time. And, so that's how international football has dwindled.
But they haven't got superstars for all.
I've got to rebuttal on that.
Do you remember Johan Cruyff? You remember
I know.
You remember
rebuttal on that? Can I rebuttal? Are you trying to tell me that the World Cup final wasn't one of the best finals you've ever seen? The last one. Because I think that was quite possibly one of the best finals I've ever seen in my life.
Yes.
Like, it was absolutely incredible. I know it was the Mbappe final, but that was some spectacle of football. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
What was it, 3-3? Extra time penalties?
Yes.
Like, what? Like, I mean,
Yeah,
if
but
Carlsberg
J-Mac,
did
a lot of
World
the
Cup
teams now
finals,
haven't
I
got
think
the
that was
stars
one.
they had a few years ago. The Dutch team were amazing. They had fantastic players right throughout the team. Most of these players, even in the 70s, 90s, the Italian teams, there was outstanding quality individual players. This Euros, the one thing for me this lacked is outstanding individual players making their mark on the tournament. There's none that I can think of really off the top of my head. I said that earlier. Whereas you had Cruyff, you had all these Dutch players who were brilliant of that team. You had French players like what's his name from the Arsenal guy up front. Forget his name now, but they were fantastic.
Bergkamp?
Yeah, Bergkamp was Dutch. He was one of the Dutch team. He's on television now.
Overmars.
When he was another one, there was loads of them. They were all sort of. I'm talking the lad from France. He scored that handball. Do you remember?
Thierry Henry.
Thierry Henry. Those guys made their mark on the tournament, and I'd like to see somebody come out of this tournament as a real, superstar. I ain't seen anybody yet.
This time, there'll be someone who emerges.
Yeah, it's the knockouts now. This is when the games start really.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
The best with the best.
Yeah.
Like the tournament game, like the table games in the World Cup weren't great, were they? In Qatar, they weren't.
No,
they weren't fantastic. Some of those games.
I still think it's one of the best
knockouts. Yeah, it all starts now, doesn't it?
When you got to the knockouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, that's, mildly disagree with what Frank said about the World Cup. I mean, the last one's been poor. I thought the one in Russia, bias aside, Russia, and the one in Qatar were fantastic.
They were.
The one in Russia, especially the goalkeeper, was just first rate.
I was really surprised how good the Qatar World Cup was, to be honest.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought all the players will be knackered. It's all in a weird time. It's really hot. Everyone's going to be all a bit messed up. But Jesus, that was some tournament.
As you said, it was a great final.
Yeah.
Messi was brilliant.
We're talking about this one, lads.
We might do later.
Yeah, just been doing
a couple of weeks.
But you've been calling me.
We might do when England get beat by Germany on penalties in the final.
Oh dear me, England and penalties over the years.
Oh boy, no faith.
Chris Waddle, banging over the bar.
We're on the different sides. It could go all the way to the final.
Well, yeah, here's a thing to get your minds working. I'm going straight to you, Brian. Scottish Bear, I think there is a vendetta against Liverpool players in this Euros, even ones that's been playing well, like Gakpo, is getting criticised, Brian.
Okay, well, what else does Holland have? What else has Holland done? So of course it's easy to point fingers at Van Dijk is being a weak captain. Gakpo. To this day I still say Gakpo. Gakpo isn't effective. I mean, well, fine. You know what? Send them home. Send them home now. Let them rest up. Get ready for the season. Yeah. No, I think they'll be okay. But
what he's saying, they have been it's victimization, isn't it? Really, this is what he's saying.
Yeah.
It's the likes of Trent. He's being criticised ruthlessly.
That's just asinine.
Van Dijk's being criticised that he's a weaker leader and he should be doing better. And this is what we're reading. Well, this is what I'm reading.
Not everybody is blood and guts, fire and brimstone captain. I mean, maybe he's just sort of low key or whatever. I mean, if that's not the reason why Holland is struggling, no. But okay, sure.
No. Yeah, but that's what he's saying, isn't it?
Yeah, I know.
Unfair criticism.
Yeah.
George.
Well, Holland, slightly diversifying. Holland suffered a really bad injustice as well because they scored a wonderful goal that the goalkeeper would never have saved. And the British VAR and the British referee took an age to disallow it. And there's been a few jokes on the internet about that, when it took so long, having the bacon, egg, and by the time they got to make a decision. And I felt sorry for the Dutch there. Big Virgil wasn't happy at all there, you could tell.
No.
I wouldn't have been happy either because it was a really poor decision.
Okay, K-Mac.
Gakpo's played well. I think Gakpo's played very well.
But he's coming on for it. This is what he's saying. It's unfair criticism.
Oh yeah.
You know, Liverpool players. K-Mac.
I'll take that even further. I think it's worldwide. Like the amount of criticism Nunez has had, and he scored in his last game.
Yeah.
He scored like 10 goals in 5 games or something.
Oh, he's played phenomenally.
And he's been getting slated. Like,
Yeah.
like seriously, like McAllister's not played well. You know, Nunez has not played well. Diaz has not played well. Like, seriously, like just shut up. Like, just leave them alone. Like, they're scoring goals. Their teams are winning.
Yeah, they're winning.
I'm not blaming Virgil van Dijk for their goal. Like, that guy ran through the whole of their team. And he wasn't even on Virgil van Dijk's side. Like, what is Virgil supposed to do? Like you're supposed to track runners. He couldn't do anything.
Captain goes down with the ship, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing about Holland as well is, like, Holland have literally had their entire midfield just injured, and they couldn't take them to the tournament. Do you really think any of those midfielders would be playing if De Jong and Timo Cooper-Mears would be fit?
Right.
They'd be straight in.
Yeah, injuries
and they'd be doing so much more. Like, you know, and Trent, like, what annoys me the most about the Trent thing, okay, is our media are now all backtracking. Like, they all used him as the scapegoat. You know, Gary Neville's and all of them, all the Man United lot, all those horrible people. They all blame Trent. Like, oh, Trent's not a midfielder. Trent can't defend. Well, he's created more chances. He's had more shots, more pass completion, more tackles in midfield.
Right.
Like, they're just the stats on Trent. Like, we've looked much more dangerous with Trent in the team. Take Trent out, put Gallagher on. Gallagher's on nothing. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 at everything. Yeah. And then remove Trent completely, and then play Gallagher from the start, and then take Gallagher off at half time.
Yeah, it's nonsense.
And now it's not Trent's fault. Now it's not Trent's fault.
You bring him on 5 minutes from the end.
They bring him on for 8 minutes, by the way.
8 minutes from the end, humiliation.
And he puts in 3 really good chances, and has a shot that just goes over the bar in 8 minutes. Right. And the newspapers put his face on the back of the papers for us not playing well. He played 8 minutes.
Oh yeah,
it's a disgrace.
I think that's been overwhelming. Definitely, I get unfair criticism.
What's he supposed to do?
Exactly. Great response from you, lads. Great response. And Youssef says the FIFA rankings are a complete outcome. Belgium were first for quite a while, having won nothing, and that's right.
True.
I think they went on the likes of De Bruyne and a couple of others. You know, great, you know, whatever.
They stayed top. They stayed top because they kept on coming second or third, didn't they?
Yeah.
Because all I ever remember was seeing Belgium in, like, you know, the runner-up game.
Yeah.
And winning it.
Yeah.
Like the pointless trophy and medals.
Right.
Before the final.
So, you know, he carries on by saying
it's a bronze medal, isn't it?
Favourable draws he's been getting. Could have easily have got the Netherlands instead of Slovakia. Now, Brian says, lads, any words what's happening with Costas? We will need a good left back. I think Robbo is getting tired now through injuries.
Yeah.
Really, you want to start with me on Robbo? You know I wanted him gone for 2 years.
The time is go.
Look,
you know, if
think about Robbo. Think about Robbo. Robbo's been our first team player on the clock for like ever. Okay.
Yeah.
I love him.
You really think you're going to put him as a backup now? he's not going to want to play backup to anybody.
No.
And we're looking for a first team centre back who can play left back. That's why we're linked with all of these players like Hincapié and Calafiore and Pancho and Inacio. Like, they're all starters. They're not backup.
Yeah.
So for me, I think Robbo goes, like, and you know what? I don't care how much we get for Robbo. Robbo's given us everything. Like,
Well, it cost 8 million.
but 140 grand to be on the bench. It's a bit rich.
No, he won't be. He won't be.
And I don't think he'll want to play.
Captain.
I don't think he'll want to be on the bench.
He's first team player, or he's not, or he's nothing. He's got to play. Liverpool is going to be their left back in the first team, in my view.
And I said this last year on your show. You can't teach a dog. You can't teach an old dog new tricks, and you're not going to get Robbo to play centre back.
No, you go down the line.
Not now. Not now.
Well, what about?
Is Canati at the Euros?
He got sick.
Yeah, he got
sick, and then he just didn't get played again.
Very quiet. I had nothing about him for weeks.
And he just didn't play.
The question, the comment.
So Costas, sorry, I will talk about Costas. I think Costas has been really unlucky. Like I genuinely think he's a decent player, but he's just never got given a chance. I think we'd probably sell him now. He's like 20, 28, isn't he? We'll probably get like 30 million for him,
He's like 26, I think, isn't he?
He's younger than
27, 28.
Okay.
No, I think he is. I think he is quite old. He's got those bags under his eyes forever, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's born with them.
Born with them.
Marius used to like him.
K-Mac, I'm with you on that. In the last 2 years, I've said, okay, Costas is a better left back than Robbo. Might be. Yeah, so... but no, I still do. I still think he's better. Hasn't had the chance, but I'd go with Costas.
I mean, you've got to look at Brian. You've got to look at Robertson's record. He's got the most assists from a fullback in the Premier League over the last 4 or 5 years, along with Trent. Sure, massive contribution compared to Tsimikas. Tsimikas is a good left back. He's very good. I 100% like him, but just in my humble opinion, Robertson to me is the number one there.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no shade or shame on Robbo, but I think they're even as far as defensively. I think Costas is a little bit better. As far as offensively, the assists speak for itself. But Costas is not much of a drop off, though. Not much. I think it's all attitude and all mentality.
It's a game of opinions, isn't it? Game of opinions.
When Robbo comes out and Costas goes in, the assists still keep on coming. I think 1 in every 3 games, Costas has got an assist. Like, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the way we play, isn't it? It's the way we play.
Sure.
Never mind. He scored a fantastic penalty at Wembley. He won the cup for us.
Yes, he did.
Yes, he did.
Pressure kick.
Well, Copa America has been way better quality, wise and passionate, unlike the Dower Euro, says Mark Simons.
Yeah, it's been
Mark,
good.
did you watch the Brazil game? 0-0.
No, I didn't watch that.
I haven't watched none of it.
And Canada, Peru. Did you watch that one? God.
No, paint dry. Watched a couple, seen a few more highlights, but it's the ones I've seen.
Yeah, in the middle of the night, wasn't it?
Oh no, it's only evening, afternoon.
Yeah, it was on after another game. Like, it's on the same channel. So I just left it on and it came on. I was like, what's that?
Okay. Well, he's getting at 4 in the morning and 7 in the morning to watch the game.
Yeah, I didn't stay up for it. the only South American game I've ever stayed up to watch, and you'll laugh at me for this one, is the Fluminense final, because Andre was playing and I thought we might sign him. So I stayed up to watch him. Who?
Who? Yeah.
What was his stats like? Any good?
He was really good, actually.
Loads of spin as usual, I'm afraid. Yeah, there's one. Frank, next World Cup, you should do a guests on chat to pick sides for the World Cup. It'll be fun. Whoever you draw, you have to follow them next tournament. So it's whoever you pick, have a little. But then again, as the Anfield Road says, Copa America being impressive, Argentina being very good, Colombia, Venezuela. And we're getting back to Liverpool again from Anfield. I feel sorry for us Liverpool fans wanting to see our great club, but a league game or whatever Werner wants cannot happen. Unfortunately, it's too difficult, but I do feel, I'm sorry, US.
For us Reds.
I feel sorry for the US.
That's Uncle Sam, Frank. Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam. Unfortunately, it's too difficult, but I do feel for the US Reds. I follow a few podcasts. They're not really podcasts, American lads. And there's another. It's not a podcast as such, but they show a game, not show a full game, highlights of a game inside a pub in Florida somewhere, and they're brilliant.
I've seen that.
Aren't they brilliant?
Very good. Go crazy when Liverpool score.
A girl runs it.
Hugging each other.
Yeah, it's like
so good.
The Anfield Rap goes over there, don't they, every year?
Yeah.
And they do a couple of the to the cities, and the fan base is insane in the US for Liverpool.
Yeah, I've been quite a few podcasts.
I've been to Carragher's bar, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a fun place.
I went there.
Well, I was going for. I like that. I like what you said there because it reminded me and what me and Jason were thinking about next season is if he's got the time, Brian to go into a bar, make sure that it's a Liverpool bar.
Oh, sure.
Would you do that for us?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, no problem. In fact, shameless plug, LFC Seattle. Yeah, we have a couple of bars.
Yeah, because I think it'll be great.
Or go to Carlyle. Yeah, I'll go to New York or wherever. Sure.
Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah, go live. I'm talking about.
Yeah,
as well.
Go live. Yeah.
That'll be brilliant. I bet you K-Mac would love that. Wouldn't you, K-Mac?
We'll do it live.
The Americans love the stats, don't they?
Oh, they do.
They do.
Maybe you sound like a right geek.
American football, that's all about stats, isn't it? American football.
It's all stats. But here's a stat for you. What is the purpose of successful dribbles? I know what a dribble is. We all know what it is. But what is you talk about useless stats. I mean, what's the point of that?
It's all ridiculous, isn't it? Number of dribbles. I suppose you get past the man, you leave him behind. You go round him, past him.
All right.
Get to the line. I don't know. It's foreign to me.
I haven't got a clue, but I'm going to look into that.
Okay, yeah. Okay, great. So he's a ball hog. All right.
Because I want to see how many times Diaz has done it.
You get these guys getting up and stand with a little book. Oh, another dribble.
Yeah. Oh, a dribble. Yeah. Oh, did you count that one? Yeah.
Feed himself.
Well, how does that work though? That fascinates me. Because you can go on you can go on the apps, just FootMob, for example, on your phone. Yeah, and as you're looking, it's like literally ticking away at all of the passes to each player and what the pass was and. Yeah. And you're like, is there someone literally sat there going?
Right. That's a very lonely individual.
That's madness. That is madness.
How many tackles?
Yeah, it is it's madness. Work out how far the player ran.
How far did they run?
Right. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's sort of a fun one. Okay. All right. You ran 14 kilometers.
There must be
there
must be some kind of GPS stuff which is align with all of the players on the page and it just tracks everything.
I'm sure. Wouldn't be surprised they're built into the shoes because in fact one of the college football teams here, well, American football, the head of Nike is a big alumnus, and he contributes money to them. And they have these shoes that they have heat signals. So you look on the side of the shoes, you can see, okay, if they turn red or whatever, you see how active the player is, and then they're also tracking how many how much ground they cover on the turf. I mean, it's insane. I mean, really. But anyway, back to football, the real one.
Yeah,
completed passes and dribbles, whatever.
Nobody checks whether they're accurate or not, do they? I mean,
exactly. Yeah.
The figures could be false. a player looks better than he is, because maybe who checks?
Oh yeah, they covered 18 kilometers. Well, are they out of position, or were they just getting beat, or what? Yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying, George. Yeah.
I'm
You
going
know
to
what
go.
I find amazing? You know what I find amazing as well?
What?
And this is totally off topic, sorry. It's American football related.
Oh boy. Okay.
Like you've literally got loads and loads of guys like on the American football pitch with metal helmets, yeah, and they don't wear any pads on their arms, like there.
Yeah.
Like that's insane. Like just throwing yourself into that kind of scenario where someone could smash you with a helmet there and your wrist has gone. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? They've got like all the shoulder pads and all of that protection, but their arms are never protected.
Yeah,
and they've got like everyone falling on top of them and stuff.
Well, if you were padding on your arms and forearms, especially with offensive
no,
line,
they don't have their hands. They don't have their hands.
Hold on to it. Yeah,
it's like that part there is just completely open.
Oh, right.
Everywhere else is like got protection, but that's just crazy. I don't know how people don't end up with more broken arms and fingers and stuff. Sorry, thought I'd just say that.
No, that's true. You're right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go through some things here, if you don't mind.
Frank, it's your show. Come on,
I'm being reading that and I listen to it. I'm not a multitasker, unfortunately. But anyway, some good points here, boys. And just let me go through a few.
Yeah.
Please. No rest anymore. That's why players keep getting injured. That's what he said. And he said before, there's no interest in these Olympics. John Rooney. I don't know these lads. It's the first time I've seen them, to be honest. John Rooney says nothing has been confirmed for Mo or Enzo to go to the Olympics. Enzo has talked, saying he would go, but nothing confirmed for either as yet. Okay. And look at this fella's name. Ali Lisbon. All City is better than Liverpool. And my name's better than yours, Ali.
Are you talking about the town?
He is. He's.
Pulls a dump. I'm sorry.
Oh, man, Hull City better than Liverpool.
Put the vape pen down. Hull City. Wow. Okay.
This is a joke here.
Yeah. Okay.
Apparently, the Olympics are so bent, even Julian Carey is jealous. And Richard Hutchinson, England versus Italy in the quarterfinal. LFC want Italy to win. I want them to win. I'm a big Azzurri fan. Footballers drinking pickle juice. I remember when footballers used to go to the chippy and get that pickle juice from the jar. How times have changed. Even with all this BS, they still can't run.
That's a thing though. What was it? Years ago, American football game. There's this coach, who had his players drink pickle juice. It was like hot, humid, and while the team was cramped up, those players they were all over the field, making tackles, doing stuff, and they won in a rout. And when asked, the coach said, "Yep, pickle juice. I gave him pickle juice." So, yeah, you don't hear that much anymore.
I'm sorry, if I'm going to Chippy, I'm getting a battered sausage.
There you go.
Do you know what? I haven't been to Chippy, being honest, for years. And I think the likes of McDonald's is trying to take over Chippies, because you get, French fries with them, unfortunately, and loads of kids go in there and they buy this stuff, And I think it's wrong.
Have you heard the story about the French fry from McDonald's? Have you ever heard the story on why the French fry in McDonald's is so incredible?
No,
I'm afraid.
Have you heard about it?
No.
Okay, so basically, they use a potato that's only grown in one place in America, literally for the entire McDonald's, yeah. And what they have to do is they have to take this potato and they cover it in some kind of chemical, which is so toxic that you can't touch the potato for months. And then they store the potatoes in barrels away from anybody and they can't touch it. Yeah. And then they clean the potato off months later and then cut it up and then we eat it. And it's a special potato that's only grown in one place. And the potato is so toxic for months, you can't even touch the potato. And then we eat the potato.
That's
That's a true story.
Okay, Mac,
Completely true, by the way. They found that out recently about this potato. It's mental.
Great. Okay.
Read up about it if you want to never eat a potato chip from McDonald's again.
Do you know what? If anyone tunes in, they go, "There's a conspiracy program here. Shall we watch it?"
No.
Get a degree.
It's actually not. It's true. It's actually
No, yeah, I'm not sure. You know, look.
Someone just wrote you or something else. Potatoes.
Don't touch the chicken nuggets.
When I was walking through Venice, it started to rain, and I was walking through the little intricate streets, the old streets, medieval streets, and I was walking through them. And when I looked, I was looking for a cafe actually, and when I looked, and right ahead of me through this street, McDonald's. And that put me off McDonald's. So McDonald's in the middle of Venice in these little mad streets. But anyway, let's get back. Don't really understand why a Scouser plays for England, to be honest, but we are all different, I suppose. I wouldn't want England to win a raffle, says Norman. Mr. Pugh. Should have a Great Britain team in the Euros like the Olympics. Would that make a difference? Get rid of the mediocrity. Mind you, it would probably all England players apart from... I'll go to you on that, K-Mac. I think that's a cracking thing.
Okay.
K-Mac.
Sorry, I was just finding the name of the potato.
Oh.
Sorry.
Isn't it called potato roast?
It's the potato head.
I'll put it in the chat. That's the potato name. Sorry. What was the question, mate? Sorry.
What is it? Okay.
Mr. Pugh says should have a Great Britain team in the Euros like the Olympics. Would that make a difference to get rid of the mediocrity or mediocre? Mind you, it would probably all England players apart from Connor.
Didn't Roy Hodgson manage a Great Britain team once? Am I remembering something?
Was that the Olympics?
Didn't he? Didn't it? It had Irish and English players in it, didn't it?
No,
do you remember that? It was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? It was crap, but do you remember that? I think it was crap. I think it was crap.
They used to have a fixture of the rest of Europe against Great Britain, and Billy Liddell played twice for Great Britain against the rest of Europe.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah. And we were in the second division then, weren't we, George? We were in the second division, and he was actually picked twice.
I remember that team. The only player that got into it that wasn't from England was Gareth Bale.
Okay.
No, 1950.
No other players got picked from the country, from England, from Wales, Scotland. It was just Gareth Bale.
Okay.
I don't think it would work, Frank. The Scottish wouldn't accept it. The Great Britain team. Can you imagine the Tartan Army supporting a Great Britain team?
Yeah. But as Mr. Pugh says, it will probably be all England players.
Not the way they're playing at the moment.
No.
The way she'll believe you pick because of Scotland. And as Norman says, I couldn't give a monkey's for stats. I know what my eyes tell me. I have seen us in hundreds of games, and I don't need stats to tell me we need a DM to take this team further. its development. Anyone want to comment on that?
Well, let's hope we finally get one this year at long last. We've been asking for it long enough. It needs to
Right.
be a quality DM, a top quality.
We do need one. I don't care what it is.
100%. I totally agree with you.
Agreed.
Agreed.
You
I mean, even Endo said we need one,
know, yeah.
and he's a DM.
I was reading an interview with Endo today, and Endo said that he started his career as a striker. I can't believe that.
Go away.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
In the papers today and online, he said, I started my career in Japan as an out-and-out striker. He converted back to midfield. I wouldn't think he'd be tall enough to be a striker, but there you go.
But the funny thing, going back to the World Cup stuff, Japan. I mean, there were no real standout players. I guess no quote unquote household name, but to a man, they play some of the best football. I mean, technically sound football. So I can see that being interchangeable. Okay, striker. Oh no, you get back to goalkeeper. Like we were playing on the school. Yeah, the schoolyard. Okay, all right. Switch players. Right? Yeah, you flow goalie. Go ahead. But no, they're a fun team to watch. They really are. So anyway, back to your point, I wouldn't be surprised if he was a striker.
Yeah, they work for each other, don't they? They work for each other. Great work ethic, the Japanese.
Right.
On the pitch, they all run like mad.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Yeah. The same with the South Koreans back in the World Cup of the 60s, Frank, you remember? Remember that South Korean team, Frank?
Well, I'm sorry, I was looking at.
You remember that Korean team? I don't know if it was North Korea or
South Korea. No, South Korea.
They were all little midgets, and they ran about like bloody demented. Yeah,
right.
Kicked lumps out of everybody.
At Goodison, you're talking about 56.
No, World Cup at Goodison Park.
No, that's what I just said. At Goodison is 66. Yeah, it was there.
What was the guy's name? Pak Duick. Remember that?
Oh, I don't know.
I've got a better memory than you.
I can't even mention the lads who plays for Napoli, right? I'd love.
K-Mac knows his name, though.
Starts with a K.
I absolutely butcher that name. I think I've got it right now. I think it's Cavaschelli.
Cavaschelli.
But I just call him Carver.
Yeah,
like the cheap wine. Like the cheap wine, Carver.
I'm just going to thank you, K-Mac. I'm just going to call him Carver.
Cheap champagne, Carver.
Carver.
Norman James, welcome to Frank and Panel's Potato Review.
It's called the Russell Burbank, by the way, if you want to know what the potato is.
Russell Burbank?
It's called the what?
The Russell Burbank. The Russet Burbank.
Oh, the Russell. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the potato, the special potato.
Someone said, I was wondering, I thought, yeah.
Everybody's interested now. Look, everybody's interested.
Burbank sounds like a cage fighter.
Cage fighter, yeah, it does. The Hollywood Studios.
And, the Scottish Bear says, listen, fellas, a few Liverpool fans want Jota sold because of his injury record. I think it's crazy talk. Jota will get around 20 goals in all comps. Must keep. Brian.
Yeah. Jota, if there's someone else available, then I'd say okay. If not, then he's serviceable when healthy. He can fill in. But I move him to the bench.
Okay.
I guess keep him. Short answer.
George.
Yeah, he's been injured in training again, hasn't he, over there apparently? Or he hasn't played really, I don't think, at the moment in the Portuguese team. No, I love Jota. He's a fantastic striker. He's one of those boys you need in the box to pop away. He has got a little bit of problem with injuries, to be fair, but hopefully they can overcome that. Apparently they've got a new team at Anfield now that are specialised in medical issues and injuries, so let's see if they can step up and stop some of these injuries, because there's been far too many.
Yes.
Okay, Mark.
You know how I feel about Jota. Absolute bagsman. I think he got what did he get, 11 goals in 26.
Yeah, it was a few games,
games or something.
Fantastic
like
strike rate, yeah.
Really brilliant strike rate. Thing about Jota as well, though, is, and and I think this is really important, is it doesn't matter how long he's had the games for, and it doesn't matter whether he comes off the bench or not. He's always effective. Like he might not be effective in the game, but he'll score the goal. And that's what we need. You need someone like that in your team. Like in that 25-man squad, you need a guy that you can just go, you know what, just throw him on for like 10 minutes, see what happens. Yeah. And Jota's that. And I just think we'll manage him better. I just think because the rest of the team weren't scoring goals regularly, he just got used all the time. And he probably shouldn't have been used when he wasn't fit and he got injured. And everyone says that Jota's injury prone. The guy landed on him. The guy landed on his knee. He was just there. And then an Arsenal player nearly took his leg off with a bad tackle. That's not really Jota's fault, let's be fair.
Well, okay.
They're not go on, sorry. They're not like Canate injuries where they're muscle injuries or abductor or you can tell that they're injuries that are player injuries. Jota seems to be a lot of injuries from being involved in the game.
Well, let's rephrase. Okay, when he gets injured, he's gone a long time.
Yeah.
He picks up. Yeah, there's
it's
bad injuries.
Yeah,
they're bad injuries.
Yeah.
Well, I like Jota.
Yeah.
And whether he's injured or not, he comes back, and he can score goals.
Yeah,
and he just scores goals. He's just a natural finisher. I think he's brilliant myself. I really do. I hope we don't get shut of him. What about Batacek, by the way? I think that lad's injury prone, unfortunately.
Make or break season for him. I think he needs to really stay fit and get back in the team again. I mean, it's been a long, long time, hasn't it? Over 12 months since he's really played any sort of football. And it seems very strange. It's a long time to be out of the game for a young lad.
Well, I just hope, George, I know what you're saying. I just hope that Slot, or Sloot, as it should be called, I just hope that he doesn't say, well, we don't need a DM because we've got Batacek. Because some people will be saying, we've got Batacek there.
No.
It's not for me, to be honest, because we need to put a statement out next season. I don't care what anyone says.
Right.
With the new manager.
It's a huge season for us, actually.
It is, and we need to make a statement right away. I think we've got a good start for 6 games. Like Man United, they're away, and
They shouldn't be a problem in recent years.
I'd rather have them away first.
Yeah.
What?
I'd rather have them away first, Man United, especially when they're kind of trying to rebuild.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, for the new manager, coach, whatever they're going to call him, I don't know. For him, especially, and if we start off well, it could give the team confidence, not only the team but also the manager.
Yeah, that's what it's all about, Frank. You've got to start off well. We've got to get a few wins under our belt early on.
But if we don't, don't forget that the fans will be apathetic because they didn't know him at first. I never had a clue about him. And they were all moaning, weren't they, just a week or so ago? And they're saying, when is this fella going to chat to us? Before he came up with a statement. So it's for him. It's for him anyway.
I think.
Will they back him? You think? Will they back Sloot, the new manager?
Well, the fans.
I said, do you think the ownership, the club, will back him and get him?
It's going to be. This is the saying. It's like that lad from Napoli and Calafiori.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love them too. I would love them too. And a DM, a top DM. I think Liverpool would be phenomenal. I really do if we got those lads in, pay them. But I can't see our owners,
Well, if they're serious, if they're really serious about the Premier League, about winning it, They're going to have to make a statement this year. They've got to support the manager. I agree with you, Frank. It's unlikely they will to the level they need to. But they need to because, this is one of the biggest seasons in Liverpool's history this season. Because we've lost a manager that's been there for 9 years and won everything. He's a legend. And it's like when Shankly left. But we're lucky because Bob Paisley was there on the job.
Great.
But now this new Arne Slot's come in. I think for me, he started well with his interview. It's a good interview, positive interview. And I'll be backing him 100%. But we've got to get the wins under the table in that first month. Because if we don't, there'll be a lot of restless fans.
There'll be a lot of apathy, to be honest, if it doesn't go right at the beginning of the season.
The board will have to spend money. They're going to have to, like you've always said, Frank. You've got to spend when you're ahead. We finished third last year. We're up there, so now we've got to move ahead again. We can't settle second best. We're one of the biggest in the world.
That's where you hit the nail on the head. That's where you've hit the nail on the head. We finished third, which means that we need to invest. When we finished top or when we won cups, we sat back and went, "Oh, we're fine. We don't need to invest," and we didn't, and we fell behind. Now we know we need to invest. And the interesting thing about it as well is, I think we're at a much better stage than other clubs because other clubs can't spend. They can't spend a lot of money. We have a lot of money to spend. It's like 173 million, like we've got before we even have to like sell players or declare stuff. So we're already ahead of the curve. And you've got the likes of, you've got Nottingham Forest, you've got Chelsea, you've got Newcastle, you've got loads of teams that like need to watch their money and maybe need to sell players.
They have to sell.
Like with you, Frank, like 3 players from Italy really put us as contenders, and that's Kvaratskhelia, Ederson, and Calfiori, and they're all in Italy.
Yeah, Atlanta.
Who have we got? We've got a guy that used to play in Italy. In Hughes, we literally got a guy who used to play in Italy, and a guy who tried to sign Calafiori last year for Bournemouth.
Yeah, so, but I understand that. Mm-hmm. But if we had, just hear me out, please. if the Bournemouth board, just being hypothetical, with Liverpool's board, most probably, they wouldn't go. He wouldn't go to Bournemouth. No. He'd come to Liverpool. Because of the name. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So most probably the Bournemouth board would give Hughes or give whoever's buying them the money, if you know what I mean. And he would. Unfortunately, we hold back. And as you mentioned, which I was going to mention when George finished, about finishing third and lacking, you took the tongues of what I was saying, K-Mac, when we won the Premiership, when we won the CL. We didn't invest. We never bought a midfielder for 4 years. And I was screaming out.
We still need one now, by the way.
Yeah.
Now.
Brian would tell you that I was screaming out a couple of years.
Midfield.
Yeah. I'm saying, we need a couple of midfielders. Why haven't we got any midfielders? And nothing was forthcoming. And that's
we ended up with our midfielders playing in the back four. Henderson
always the midfield.
At the half.
Yeah.
Oh, our midfield's in Real Madrid now. What are you talking about?
Well, that's it. One of the top sides, and I'm talking about European top sides. One of the top sides. And let the age of the teams keep going down and down, if you know what I mean. I'm talking about their playing days, and they were finished. They were finished for 2 seasons. Not finished, but you could see the quality disappearing, and that's why we needed investment, and that's why we just struggled to finish 5th. Last season before.
Yeah.
So that's why
I also feel as well, because I know a lot of people are saying like, "Oh, why aren't we making any transfers? Why aren't we doing this?" I also feel probably a lot of the players that we're probably going to try and buy are actually playing in tournaments. Yeah. They're either in the Copa America or they're in the Euros. So how do you even get that done? You can't. And also, how do you get that done when the director of football and the manager hadn't arrived in the club when they weren't playing in the championships? So I think a lot's probably going to happen in July, August.
Yeah, July.
I hope so.
The biggest worry for me, we still haven't sorted out Salah, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent.
Yeah, letting the contracts run down, that's very dangerous.
That's really making me go blur.
I think that's a brilliant point, actually.
That's a great point, yeah.
I'll see what Norman says. Slot was not my choice as a fan, but I liked his interview, and now we can only do what we do best, support him.
Yes.
Because LFC was here before Klopp, and it will still be here before Sloot.
It certainly will.
Preach, and preach. Yeah.
Here, we're all long gone.
And right, Brian, this Brian here. They won't spend, lads. How many times have we been through this? It will be slim pickings. First 11, we will finish top 3, 4 easily. Any injuries, big trouble. We are due our good Italian signings. So that's what he says. But he goes on to say, I won't do the full thing. I want you to talk about this. He said that we should bring back Solanke. George?
No, I don't think so. I'm not. He's done well. He scored goals last year. Definitely, he's been quite prolific. But I think we need to go to pastures new. We want top quality, world class players. We're a top quality, world class club, right at the top of the game. Most European cups in the country. Come on. I mean, this is Liverpool we're talking about. Solanke, great at Bournemouth, but no, not for me, Frank. I wouldn't bring him back here. Great respect for the lad; he's done well, but we're looking above that. Got to be.
But as Norman says, George, they're not going to spend. How many times have we been saying this each year? They will not spend. I'll go to Brian and then K-Mac. Brian, what's your take on that? They won't spend. And would you bring back Solanke?
Okay. Solanke is easy. No. Now, as far as spending, well, we've. I don't want to get into a bash FSG or bash the club, but they know they need to spend. We need to spend. My only concern is what K-Mac mentioned earlier: the 3 players haven't been resolved. Are we going to lose one of them to fund the other buys? So yeah, go on.
K-Mac.
Okay, so the Solanke thing. The Solanke thing's kind of the Moneyball model, which is why what Edwards was involved with when he started, and it works. Mm-hmm. And Solanke will get sold to another club, and we've already got money on him as well to his next club. So we'll probably get 8 million or something off the back of him being sold to someone else. Okay. We don't need him. What are you going to do? Are you going to put him where Nunes is? You're going to change the whole style of the football club? That's not how we play football. That's not how Slot plays. So I don't think Solanke would work. For me, it's the three contracts which are the ones which keep on niggling at me, especially when you hear stuff about Salah, maybe us telling him he can't go to the competition, and then you also hear stuff about Liverpool won't let the 3 players run down their contracts and go on freeze, and Saudi Arabia still haven't been knocking on doors yet. So wait till we get a bid for Salah. Wait till we get a bid for Virgil van Dijk. You just don't know. And for me, there's a lot of players that need to go as well. Still quite a few players.
I like that. Who would you say, K-Mac? Because I think so as well. Who would you say needs to go?
There's a few players that need to go for me. Nat Phillips needs to go. He's a defender. We say we've got loads of defenders when we actually haven't. Nat Phillips and Reece Williams, you might as well just say they're not at the club because they're not going to play.
Yeah, let them go.
You've got Sepp van der Berg, who's actually said he wants to go.
Yeah.
And the interesting thing is, and I did this on my show today, there's actually rumours coming out that Bologna are looking at him So maybe there's something that can be done there where Calafiore comes the other way.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are saying Calafiore wouldn't play abroad. They signed him from an Austrian team, so he already played outside of Italy. So that's nonsense. Like, I think he needs to go. I think. Well, I want Robbo to go, but I don't think he will. But I do want Robbo to go. I think his time's done. Tyler Morton, what's the point in keeping him? Like, is he going to play? Can we make money off him? I think maybe we should. Is Carvalho going to get into the team? Like, where's he going to play? Like, you've got Curtis Jones, you've got Harvey Elliott, and you've got Dom Szoboszlai, who all haven't got spaces in that team. So where's he going to go? He's not going to get a game, is he? You might as well get rid of him. And then the likes of like McConnell and the kids, Dans, Doak, Kate Gordon. Like, you might as well just loan all of them out as well, because are they ever going to get game time? Like, really? Like, we've got.
I was looking at big teams. One of the big European teams are looking at Bobby Clark, aren't they?
Yeah,
it makes sense. It makes sense that he does a loan. Like, I wouldn't sell him. I think he's a terrific player, but if he's not going to play, then you should probably loan him out. Because when he played last season, I thought he was better than Gravenberch. And we haven't mentioned Gravenberch either, by the way. Like, where does he go? Where does he play? Like, where does he play? Like, honestly, we've got a lot of players.
Yeah, Owen Beck. Anfield came out. It's the old story now. You've got these young players coming through. They did really well in the Carlsberg Cup final. There's a whole host of them, about eight or nine of them. And it's the same in my day. They come through, they get trained up, they go through all the academy, they get the brink of the first team, and it's blocked unless they're absolutely outstanding, because you bring in a superstar who will play, and these young lads will just either be loaned out. I'll be surprised if any of them become a regular first team player, except maybe the centre forward, Dans, if he gets properly supported.
Yeah, I like
that. Well, here's an interesting comment, Scottish Bear says. Just watched an interview with Rodrigo Muniz on Eurosport. He was talking about Madrid and Liverpool. He spoke about his admiration for Liverpool. Is this kid angling for a move with Mbappe at Madrid? That's a good little point, though. And there's another one.
Rodriguez will be our marquee.
Yeah,
it's
well,
120 million now.
Yeah, I think someone
throw all the money. I will drive to Spain to collect him.
Good player, yeah, good player.
Unbelievable player. I think he was better than Vinny last season, by the way. Like, he's the guy. I mean, he's the main guy for Brazil, by the way, and he can also play up front as well, left or right. Like, what a player! What a player! And to play that well, and to then to sign Mbappe for your position. Right. Like, cheers, mate.
Well, Norman says here, I like and rate Curtis Jones, but in my view, this season is his last chance for him to really become a regular player for us, because in my view, his time with us is stop-start too much. That's what he says. Stop-start, that's what he means. And K-Mac says, Brian, is there much coming through the under-23s, mate? I know the Hungarian lads was brilliant, Leighton Stewart as well. Plus, we have Jaden Dans, great prospects. I like Jaden Dans.
I like Dans, yeah.
And, does anyone go for Nico Williams? We lens on those little points. Nico Williams, anyone from Spain, says Brian. Would you go for him? Anyone?
No.
No, I wouldn't go for him. No, we got options there. We got options.
He's got less goals and assists than Diaz in the same amount of time.
Yeah,
like, seriously. Like, I think he scored like 9 goals in 3 years. Like, seriously.
No,
it's not a good striker.
Yeah.
Well, the Scottish Bear agrees with what Norman says, about Curtis Jones. I'm going to go straight to you, K-Man. What's your take on Curtis Jones?
Look, I really, really rate Curtis Jones. but I don't disagree. Like I think it's his last chance. If he can't cement a spot in the team next year, then you probably want to cash in on him.
Okay.
You do, like honestly.
Okay, no, I think that's a very good point. I like Curtis Jones myself, and that bloody injury buggered him, to be honest.
Yeah, no.
You know, for the end of the season, you know,
he was brilliant at the start of the season. He was
unbelievable. But the injuries, you know, what's happened to Jota,
and the red card.
Yeah, the red card.
Yeah.
But, you know, and I think that
spiraled.
Yeah.
George, Curtis Jones.
Well, the other thing now, Frank, it's a 15 to 16 man team now, isn't it? It's not an 11-man team anymore. There's very rarely a game goes by when the first 11 starts and finishes. You've got people coming on, getting injured, moving in, tactics. Well, he's always going to be, whilst he's playing like he has played, an inherent part of the first team squad. Whether he's satisfied with that or whether we're satisfied, I don't know. I agree with K-Mac. He's got to prove himself this year to be consistent, keep clear of injuries, and make a contribution. Start scoring a few goals as well from midfield. You know, I thought Harvey Elliott come on really well towards the end of the season. I rated him very highly, still do. So we've got a lot of competition in that midfield area, and Curtis has got to step up this year. I think it's a big chance for him to prove himself once and for all. But we'll have to wait and see.
Well, okay. Someone mentioned, and I didn't put it up, unfortunately. I don't know where it is. And I'm going to say too. We finish on this. Have to. Mo Salah, keep or sell, plus Curtis, keep or sell. George,
keep both.
Okay. I'll go to you, Brian.
Cujo, I would say it's time. As everyone's pointed out, love, hate, but he shows moments of brilliance, but other times he's injured. So move Curtis Jones. Salah, unless you have someone coming in who's guaranteed say 30 some odd goals, then he stays.
Okay. Well, no, at the end it says here, and we've discussed this. He was late coming on, Norman. Anyway, does anyone think the club is considering selling Jota, of which I could understand with his injuries, but such a shame because he is deadly and the best finisher at the club. We have discussed that, Norman. We've discussed that. And Paul Turner says, keep both, give Curtis another season, see how it goes, in my opinion. And Brian says, I'm thinking the same. I think he's going to be the next unlucky one who is perfect for our team to lose out on 2 injuries. And that's Jota. So listen, lads. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Frank.
Thank you.
I'd keep Curtis and Salah, by the way.
Yeah.
You didn't ask me.
It's a squad game. We need a strong squad.
All right, then,
the thing with Salah, and this is going to make people laugh, by the way, is I look at Salah like Ronaldo. Like,
okay.
And if you look at Salah, who's 32, played an insane amount of games, never injured, is an absolute specimen with like a 16-pack. If you've seen the latest photos,
and he's had his haircut.
And he's just got an hair transplant as well, so now he's got more hair. He's not even got a receding line anymore. And then you've got Ronaldo, who is defying all kinds of physics and whatever.
Yeah.
And then you've got Wayne Rooney, who's the same age.
Yeah.
Looks like Oliver Hardy.
He looks like a drunken bum.
Yeah. Yeah,
there you go. Like, I think Salah is the same. Salah's just a freak of nature. Like, keep him forever.
Well, if Ronaldo can stay as fit, as he is,
the way he
the way he can, Mo Salah. You've got to keep Mo Salah.
Another 20 goals this season.
Yeah, of course. Do you know the players we were mentioning? We mentioned 3, didn't we? We mentioned 3 players, we'd like to bring in. If we could only bring one, the one that I can't pronounce, and Calafiori, and who's the other fella?
Kabashkali.
Yeah, right.
Kabashkali.
Yeah, from Atlanta.
I mean, you don't want them in your team, do you? Just for the commentator.
No, do you know what, K-Man?
And they could pass to each other as well. Kabashkali.
It was so funny, It was George Sefton, and we were playing someone, and it was like I don't know, a Polish side or someone like that, or some mad names in it, unpronounceable names, and he couldn't pronounce them, and he was trying to pronounce this fella, and he went like, well, number 23 is coming off and being replaced by number 14. He couldn't pronounce, and that's what it'll be like with him. That's what it'll be like with that
it will be.
wonderful player. But I just hope we get that Calafiori. I really do. That's it, mate.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, gentlemen, and hopefully I'll see you all next Tuesday. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, see you, K-Mac. See you, Brian. Lovely to see you
again, guys.
Great to see you.
K-Mac, before you go, give Jamie all my best, will you? I haven't been getting on there because he's been like after midnight, and I'm away. I'm in bed.
We've been doing late ones, mate. Yeah. I will do, buddy. All right.
Will you give him my regards, please? Give him my regards. He's a lovely man.
Will do.
Yeah, give him my regards as well.
Yes,
He's good to get back
See you later, guys.
Good night.
Great to see you guys.
Good night.
Thank you so much, boys. Thank you.
Ciao.
Thank you, Stream. Thank you, all the lads out there. You're wonderful people.
And thank you, Jason.
And hey, thanks a lot, mate. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, this is great stuff. Sorry, it's been so long. Yeah, this is wonderful.
It's been youngs. I'm amazed up to see you. Thank you so much, Brian.
All right.
Hopefully see you next week. Eh?
Yeah. Looking good, guy. Looking good.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
No, it's just good, clean living, I guess. Yeah. All right. I'll see you.
Might have been trying to catch some sun. That's what. Anyway, I'll see you soon, Brian. Thank you so much, mate.
A presto. Ciao.
They're all made up to see us, they're, every one of them, everyone there as well. Thank you so much, chat. And thank you, Brian, and the rest of the lads. Thank you.
There you go.
And you.